All righty. So today we took my client here today red with the reverse ombre. She actually had dark hair color on her ends, and we did a bit of a color correction. Um, and we went ahead and lifted her hair up and then did a semi-permanent red color on top. And now we are going to go ahead and we've already shampooed, deep conditioned, and we're going to detangle, blow her out, and curl trim as well. So stay tuned with me, and we're gonna go ahead and get it popping. Please like, follow, subscribe, share at curlygirlcoach.com. And I'm here at Curly Girl Coach, so let's get to it. First, we're going to use Design Essentials Bamboo Silk HCO Leave-In Conditioner, and that's going to help us with the detangling process as well as give us some very light heat protection for when we are blow drying. If you've seen me before, I pretty much use a very similar pattern all the time while I am detangling. I go straight down the middle, and then we will do two sections in the front and four in the back. So let's do that. I like to detangle with, sometimes I'll use the detangler brush, but today we're just gonna go ahead and use what I've got that's clean, because of course it's the end of the night here, and it's the last client of the week. So we're wrapping it up, and what better way to wrap it up but with some vibrant color here. Detangle from ends to roots, and I like to do bantu knots because bantu knots just really allow the hair to stay detangled and moisturized. I'm really loving the reverse ombre color here. She's got such vibrant color at the roots, um, and then it goes into a ruby, more of a ruby red on those ends. And yeah, I think it's gonna look really pretty once we blow her out and straighten it out. And it's nice when we see it curly too. So she's gonna have a great transition from straight to curly. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some curly styles with this color as well. But today, of course, since we just colored her hair, we want to make sure that um, we want to make sure that her ends are nice and trimmed and detangled. So she wanted a very bright, very vibrant red color, and I'm into giving the people what they want. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side to detangle. So you'll see me when I detangle her hair, you will see me holding the hair, and that's really just going to allow us to have less tension to the scalp. You're always going to detangle from ends to roots. And that's just going to allow you to detangle easier. Thanks everyone for joining. If you're just tuning in, don't forget to hit that like button for me. You can subscribe at Curly Girl Coach. If you like watching hair transformations, hair videos, and primarily we give tips for people with natural, curly, or kinky hair. So we're going to continue to Bantu knot. Her curls are not extremely tight at all. And if you notice, the detangle process is going so quickly. So you just get those ends. So when I blow dry, I like to further detangle, again using my diamond brush. Now we could use a round brush. We're not going to do that today because diamond brushes are my favorite tool for blowouts, especially with my curly hair girls, because it just makes the process go that much easier. And you see, I'm still coloring my nails, which will happen a lot of times. But if you like to color, do vibrant colors, and you stain your nails, then you can just actually use hand sanitizer. Put some hand sanitizer on a cotton ball and rub that off. Okay, so that can be just a nice tip for you. How long does it take to achieve this color? Now, it really depends. It's a great question. It really depends on if your hair has previous color on it, or if you're going straight from natural hair. If your hair was already uncolored, it's a relatively easy process because you're not removing any color that you had before, right? But in this case, we have been at this for 5 hours, maybe. Yeah, so for about 5 hours. And that's just because it was a bit of a color correction involved, right? Because we had some dark color on her hair and we had to remove that. So yeah, here we are. To take um, the bantu knots out, you just twist it in the reverse. And hold on. We're going to continue the process. Untwisting each bantu knot. Go to the next section, detangle. This is my small dimming pound brush. I sometimes use the larger one depending on how long the hair is. Are you ready? Middle part or side part? Side. Which side? Your side. My side. And let's keep on going. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. So our last section. We'll actually split this one in half. And that just allows for more control. We comb through it. And we'll go. Last little section, and then we'll go through and trim her ends, which luckily they're not bad at all. So we're just gonna dust her ends a little bit. Is that better? Closer camera. trim. I had to turn the air on. It's warm in here. I am having a great day. I hope you are. So excited about my last client of the day. It has been a long week, but I thank you all for tuning in while we go ahead and finish up my last client and then start my weekend. I'm sure you know us hairdressers or stylists, our weekend is generally Sunday, Monday. So my weekend starts tomorrow because I generally work on Saturdays. So yes, let's go ahead and we're really gonna nip these ends. We trimmed them about a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago. And they're really not bad at all. Even through the entire color process. Um, so we're gonna just do a trim, a dusting. Yeah, we're just gonna dust these ends because she doesn't really, the ends aren't bad. It's always interesting. Thank you for telling me the camera seemed a little far, but it's always interesting trying to get the right angle for you all, but still not have a crazy angle for myself, you know? I just started going live about a month ago. And lives are so interesting because it's such a huge mix of people in the live, but it always seems so fun, right? Like, yesterday I was blow drying somebody's hair and the blow dryer almost cut off, so I thought it was gonna be something tragic, but it wasn't. It was fine. Let's get these sides. Your part is on my side. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Cool. But I definitely want you all to be able to see what's happening here. But it's always fun to switch it up for a little while. I'm going to be using, if you've seen my lives before, I talk about my Paul Mitchell flat iron. It's my favorite. So we'll be using that today. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. So I post a lot of videos on social media in general, but generally not lives, right? So I think it's a little bit different getting a shot for a little while, but when you're doing an entire live, it's always interesting because there are certain angles. I'm gonna back that up a little bit. There are certain angles that we just need to be in to make a cut or to do something properly, right? So that's always interesting, which I can finagle a lot of times when I'm just filming a short video, because of course you're going to still edit it. But a live is live. But I think that's a great idea, Elaine. I'm gonna look at some other hairstylists and see what angles they're using. I was looking at the GoPros. I wonder how that would go. Uh-oh, good job. Drop the comb. Be right back. Gotta get another comb. So, I'm coming. I've said it before on the live. If you go to somebody that's doing your hair and they drop the comb and pick it up and keep on going, that's not the person for you, okay? Because that is not sanitary. Now, I will use a comb off the floor on myself, but that's it. Never on a client, which is always unfortunate. I can go through a couple different combs and brushes on my clients because I can be a little bit clumsy. Alrighty. So we're going to use, Design Essentials Thermal Strengthening Serum. It's gonna be our heat protectant. Usually 2 pumps will do, not a whole bunch, just needed. Emulsify in your hands. Start with underneath and work your way through. Now that's the amount that I typically use on hair that is this length. However, she does have some reverting issues. So because of that, we're gonna give her 2 additional pumps so the hair will be just a little bit heavier and work our way through. And when I say just a little bit heavier, it's not gonna be greasy or weighed down, but she's just gonna need just a tad bit more. And then we'll also go through with S3 spray. You'll see me misting something on her hair while I'm curling it, and that's what it'll be. And it silkens, it shines. It's just a great product to give a little extra oomph to your flat iron. Okay, so you can find all of the products that I'm using at curlygirlcoach.com under products. This is the wax stick. It's almost gone, but the wax stick is great for smoothing out edges, and it's in stick form, so it's really like a curling wax, but we're just gonna put that all over her edges. And then we'll go through with our mini pencil 1/2 inch flat iron and flat iron those roots. We're gonna go quick because this one doesn't have a temperature setting on it, and we don't want it to be too hot. So I like to try to use it as soon as I turn it on, so it's not too hot. Especially, when you got fresh color, you don't want temperature settings to be too hot on your hot tools. You just don't want to cause additional damage that you don't have to. Especially for ladies with natural hair or curly hair, you just want to make sure that when you do have color treated hair, that you're staying up on those trims, up on your treatments, especially those that give you moisture, because natural hair is naturally packed with protein, it's naturally dry, so color can make it even more dry. So with that, you just be sure to get those steam treatments, which is that moist heat, which is really good for moisture retention. We're gonna use our carbon comb. Carbon comb is great for hot tools because it won't burn. And you don't want to ruin your combs trying to flat iron hair. I separate the hair just like I do when I am detangling. I part off the sides, put them away, and then part from ear to ear. I feel the same way. My client was yawning. I told her I feel the same way. It's been a long week. And I worked a split shift today to take my babies to the fall festival. So we're here now. Now let's spray with the S3 spray. It silkens, it softens. Oh, this is my favorite flat iron. It's the Paul Mitchell Neuro. We can turn it down. 30-second heat up time, automatic shut off. They don't sponsor me, but they should. And we're curls?
Yes.
Okay. We're just gonna curl her ends. Spray that S3 spray on. Hit the roots one good time and go through curling. It gives nice body because the flat iron has the beveled edges. So with the beveled edges, it gives nice body at the root. It still smooths the hair out very well. I'm taking about 1/2 inch partings. Now, sometimes I do 1/4 inch. It really depends on the density of the person's hair. And she has medium density. Okay, so normal density, not super thick, not thin either. And if you see steam, that's really just the product that we just sprayed. Remember, we're doing I did additional pumps of our thermal silk, which is our heat protectant, and she's getting a spray of the S3 spray. And you see how shiny it is, but it's still movable, right? It's still movable. A flat iron can get hot on the outer casing because it just depends on the flat iron and how it's made, the outer and the sides. Like this is hot to the touch, but not so hot that it will burn her or me, right? But those sides, you still can see the plate on the sides. So yeah, it will get hot there. So it just depends on the flat iron and how it's made. I have another flat iron, the Babyliss. I like this one too. It's titanium, it has titanium plates, but you see that outside is metal. This entire flat iron gets hot, extremely hot. It's a good flat iron though, and that's why it has the rubber pieces here. So if you want to touch something, that's where you can touch. So it really depends on the flat iron and how it's made, but be cognizant on the material on the outside because this can get hot and it absolutely will burn you on the sides and the back. So yeah, just depends. So pay attention to the material that the flat iron that you have, what it is, and that'll make a difference on how hot it gets on the outside. But this one is more plastic on the outside. So while it does get hot, it does not get hot to where it can burn you. But it gives such a nice curl. If I wanted something a little tighter, then I would start twisting the flat iron sooner, or I would roll it tighter, right? Like, so you see, I'm just letting the hair glide through the flat iron. And that's why it's giving me that spiral looking curl. which it'll still be nice and smooth once I comb through them. Look at that. Like, if you see this flat iron, I bought this one on sale, but if you see this flat iron, get it. Because it's just the way it fits in your hand. I have small hands, by the way, but it's just my favorite. The only negative that I have about it is I've probably, in my lifetime as a stylist, since I've been using it, I've had to replace it more often than my other flat irons. To me, it burns out faster. But even with that, still totally worth it. Hit those roots one time and just go on through. Let it glide through. And then we get that nice, shiny, bouncy curl. Now, if she wants to maintain the curls at night, she can pin curl them. She can put rollers or flexi rods in them. If she wants more of the body and not really interested in keeping it as curly, she can wrap her hair at night, and that would also give her a very nice look. Okay, now because her hair is naturally curly, I'm going to give you some tips on keeping your hair, on keeping your blowout, or keeping your hair straight when it's blown out. Of course, you want to wrap it up, put a bonnet on, all the things at night, right? Not just a silk pillowcase. That's not enough. So yeah, it's not enough just to wear or just to use a satin pillowcase. But when you wrap it up, tie it up at night, the biggest thing is when you take a shower, okay? So when you take a shower, if you wear bonnets, you also need to put on a scarf, a head scarf, and a bonnet. On top of that, always wear a shower cap. This is because there's going to be humidity in your bathroom, the steam in your bathroom, and that steam is just water in the air. So water in the air will cause your hair to start reverting back, to start frizzing up. That's why, it gets frizzy. But you still have to take it one step further. Once you get out of the shower, once it's time to unwrap your hair, take off your shower cap, don't pull your hair down in the bathroom, okay? That is because you will still get the steam from the shower. Go in a room where you did not shower, another bathroom, a room with a mirror, and take it down. And that will help keep your hair straighter longer. So we're still just gonna go through and with the same process, spray it. And I am spraying her a little bit heavier than I spray some people. And like I said, for those who missed it, her hair is prone to revert. So we want her to get as much longevity out of her blowout as possible. So we're making it just a tad bit heavier than normal. So with that, we're gonna give her a couple extra sprays, a couple extra pumps of heat protectant. And thanks so much for tuning in. We're still working, but go ahead and hit that like button for me. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm going live or posting videos. I post shorts, post a lot of shorts, usually once a day. Or I try to. I go live Fridays and Saturdays generally. So you can check out some of my other videos and content for those natural hair enthusiasts. I do have some free digital resources. I hope they sponsor me too, Elaine, because I talk about this flat iron all the time. And I've bought enough of them. So, but yeah, I do have free digital resources in my bio. Click the link. Just look at her curls. It makes me want to curl my hair. It's so pretty and shiny. You notice I'm holding the hair at the root when I go through, and that's just because it's gonna still give it that volume, but encourage the curl at a certain place where you're holding the curl, right? So you don't want to use more than about 2 inches width of hair, because you don't want the hair to be outside of the width of your flat iron. If I were just flat ironing it straight, I would use the comb and comb through while I'm flat ironing, but because we're curling, we're not gonna do that. And you see, I just kind of let the curl rest where it is and let it cool in that position. You always, of course, to get more of a curl, you can pin curl them while you are curling, and that encourages the curls even more. But if you're not gonna do that, let the curl cool first where it is. And letting the curl cool is going to encourage it to stay that way. But definitely let them cool before you comb them out. And we're gonna give them a nice light spray of hold-in spray before we comb them out. I'm gonna show you in a moment my method to curl the sides, and it just allows the hair to lay really pretty. In the back, you want to kind of alternate from curling left to right, you know, so the hair is not all going in the same direction when you comb it out. It just gives it a slightly fuller look. But in the front, you really have to be cognizant, because you want the hair to lay in the right direction. And once you flat iron it, especially in the front, once you flat iron it in the wrong spot, good luck getting it to lay right. Oh, we're going through this relatively quickly. We need to. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe. I'm at curlygirlcoach.com. You can see the links in my bio for my website. So let's look at these sides. Okay, so we've already parted her off, and you can see the side. And okay, we're gonna curl the first row closest to the ear. We're gonna curl it toward the face, okay? So just like we did before, spray it. We're gonna take half of this section, and then it might seem weird, sorry, how you do it, but curl it towards the face. Boom. The next one, same thing, curl it towards the face. But if you notice, when you curl it towards the face, there's a hole in her hair, right? Right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Right here. So, oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. So there's a hole here. We're curling this first section toward the face to give her that fullness around her face. But the next row, We're still taking our, actually these sections are about a full inch because of the density here. We're gonna curl this section back away from the face, and it's gonna fill in that hole that we created, okay? Okay, you see what I mean? So now the hole that I was telling you about is gone, and it's gonna frame her face really nicely when we comb that out. So the rest of the hair in this section, we're still gonna curl it back away from the face. Okay, so talk about keratin. Great question. Um, like any chemical, so let's start with this. Natural hair is packed with protein, okay? And protein, natural hair, that's why it's so dry. Now, anytime you are doing a chemical service, whether that be relaxer, whether it be color, the hair is going to be even more prone to dryness. Okay, so with that being said, keratin has the capability to do the exact same thing. So if you opt for a keratin treatment, firstly, make sure that you're going to a licensed professional who specializes and who does a lot of keratin treatments. Don't be the guinea pig, right? Like, be sure that you're going to somebody who has, that's using a product that's tried and true. Ask for some clients that they've done the keratin treatment on, how it lasted over time, all those good questions. Do your research, okay? On top of that, so I personally do not do keratin treatments because I don't have one that I can stand behind yet, right? So, but I do offer other services like an STS treatment. And what an STS treatment is, it's not keratin. Your hair will still be natural, it still will be curly, but it's actually instead of keratin, which is also protein, it is amino acids, right? And those amino acids just keep the hair straight longer, keeps it from frizzing up longer. You can still get it with your color, all of those things, and it lasts about 12 weeks. So I personally don't do keratin, but I'm not against it. However, I just say, you don't want to be one of those girlies or one of those people who end up with dry, brittle hair because the person that did your keratin treatment was not as experienced as you felt like they should be. So that's my spiel on keratin. Here, yeah. For 4C hair, actually, I think people put a lot of stock into, the alphabet. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 hair, A, B, C, D, E, F, G hair, right? Like, I think there is value in knowing, your curl pattern, but there's so many things. You're welcome. There's so many things that really affect how to do your hair more than just your it being 4C. I think 4C hair, like any hair or like natural hair in general, is super dry. It can be super dry. So I think it is worth knowing your porosity, knowing your density, knowing the products that work best for you. One of the biggest things that, especially if you are wearing your hair in its natural state, you want to, or doing natural styles, you want to go ahead and use the LLC or the LCO method. And if you don't know what that is, I have videos. I have videos explaining it on my channel. Remember, we're curling this first one toward the face, the next row away from the face. All right, same thing, different direction because it's a different side of the head. So be sure that you are incorporating oils, hot oil treatments, incorporating steam into your regimen, because the biggest thing is with the 4C hair type is moisture. Find ways to lock in that moisture and to keep your hair moisturized. Every time I'm doing a natural style, and especially for my 4C girlies, I like to use, instead of LCO, I use, instead of LOC, I use LCO. And what it is you start with a leave-in conditioner, go in with the cream moisturizer, and then you seal it with an oil. Now, what type of oil you need is going to be based on how the density of your hair is, it, or the texture of your hair. Is it fine? Is it normal? Is it coarse? And I do have an oils guide. It's a free oils guide in my bio. You can click it, and it has a lot of different oils that you can use, and gives you some tips on how to use them. So that's beneficial as well. But I guess my biggest thing would be to really know your hair, right? Really know the seasons that it goes through, when you experience the most dryness, and so you can combat that with different techniques. So I hope that answered your question. So this section is her bang. So with the bang, I'm going to curl it a little bit differently, and I'm pretty much going through the whole strand and curling it at the end, and that's gonna give it, I don't know if y'all can see that. Wish you could just touch my scalp. Oh man, wow. Yeah, thank you so much for subscribing. I do offer virtual consultations. So if it's something that you want to get a little bit more one-on-one, we can do that. But I have some resources that are coming out really soon, and I think it's going to be super beneficial. So thank you for subscribing, and do hit that notification bell, because I have got some great things in store for my natural girls this year that we will be dropping, because there's so many people that just really don't know about their hair, and I'm so passionate about teaching you how to care for your own hair, the hair that grows from your scalp, right? Like, even if you have a stylist, even if you go to somebody else, guess what? You still spend more time with your hair than your stylist does. I'm located in Greensboro, North Carolina. But a lot of the resources that I will be coming out with are absolutely digital, okay? So regardless, or if you are in North Carolina, where you're located in the world, I am super passionate about getting these resources into your hands so you can reach your natural goals, whether that be to grow your hair longer, whether that be to have moisture retention, whatever healthy hair looks like to you, I want to help you get there, right? And I think that starts with understanding and knowing your hair. So if you don't know your hair, then you don't know what it needs, right? So yeah, I got some things in store. So I will be dropping some things, some information really, really soon. So stay tuned. I'm so glad you subscribed. And if a virtual consultation is something, like if you want to just talk more about your own hair, is something that you're interested in, you can go to my website, curlygirlcoach.com, and you can actually schedule a virtual or in-person consultation. So that resource is available as well. And then, of course, then during my consultations, I do a full hair and scalp analysis. We talk about your hair goals, what you're currently doing, what you're currently using, and how to get you to those goals, in short. But there are so many free resources that I have on my page. I do a lot of shorts and videos, and especially if the captions are so information rich, like I give a lot of information there for you as well. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I have a lot of information in those captions. So we're wrapping it up. Y'all, thank you. We're not done yet, but thank you so much for tuning in with us. You have made the time go so much faster because it's been a long week. I must say, it's been a long week, and I decided to work a split shift today, which was a terrible idea, but we're here now. We're here now. Me working a split shift made me feel like I worked 2 jobs. So these are her curls. We're about to comb them out. Oh, so pretty. I want to curl my hair. I need to do something. So we're about to comb these curls out so we can see what it's given. Please remember to like this video, subscribe, share. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. I do so appreciate you. I just started going live. I was telling somebody else not too long ago, about a month ago. I was telling the folks earlier. And, you know, it's been a fun experience. I was originally a little afraid to go live, but this is the Influence Firm Holding Spray. It's a nice soft hold. So we're just gonna give it a light spray, okay? And then follow up one more time with that S3 spray. Let it dry down a little bit. In the front here, we're going to spray the edge of the comb. We're not going to use any edge control, okay? So we're just going to spray the edge of the comb like so. And we'll just move the hair where we want it. Which want it to go in the direction we want without being super heavy. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really passionate about teaching people about their hair. So, and this is my favorite part. I love it. You know, you spend so much time curling hair and then you just comb them out. But this is my favorite little comb to comb your curls, and you just go on through. And she still has some good body here, a nice little wave. And let's look at that on the sides. Comb it out. Can y'all see that? And then here, I always like to comb that backward. And you see what I was saying? It still fills in those holes. So you're not gonna have holes in the side of the head, because you don't want that. Okay? Let's look at that last side. I must have really long hair. I actually had locks. About a year ago, and I cut them off. I did a big chop. So I did my big chop about a year ago. So now, oh, thank you. They said, tell your client her hair is beautiful. Thank you. She says, thank you. So let's comb this backward too. That's good. for the front. So yeah, I cut my hair off about a year ago, but it's growing back pretty good. I actually took the clippers to it, and now it is to my shoulders. So that's the thing, hair grows, and everybody's goal is not long hair, right? Some people just want healthy hair, but I do want my long hair back. But it's coming. It's coming. You said you too? Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. Continuing the healthy lifestyle and the treatments and the trends, the things definitely help. So we're wrapping up. I'm loving the curls, loving the color, and thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to spend time with us this evening. Um, exactly. Curls never go out of style. 100% agree. But thank you so much for the love, the support. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so you can be abreast on all of the wonderful things I have in store for you. And be safe and have a good night. Bye.